It's episode 19. It's Sunday. We're trying to figure out if Eva's a fraud or not. Tune in.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, it's Sunday. Hi, everybody.
Hi, it's my
It is Sunday. I'm exhausted and hot. I was in Palm Springs. It's been a long weekend, but I'm happy to be here.
Are you?
Yes. It is Sunday. Welcome to Real Housewives of Atlanta after show for AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Hollywood Leanne.
And I'm your host, Miss Conversation Piece. And yeah, I need a massage. I don't know if that has to do with anything, but
it sure doesn't.
I'm exhausted, y'all, but I'm here.
It sure does not. But what up, guys? It's your girl, Drew Jones.
What's up, party people? It is Erica Edwards.
Yes, we have so much to talk about tonight. We have a fully loaded news and gossip section brought to you by Erica and Ms. Convo, so make sure to check that out. We're going to be discussing a lot of things tonight. We're going to get raw and vulnerable with the NeNe things. We're going to get messy with the MARLO and the Tanya thing, and we have a lot to talk about. Phaedra's going to come up in the conversation. You might want to stay tuned. We have a lot to uncover, decipher, and talk about, so let's get into it. NeNe is opening up to MARLO, and she's saying, dude, like, I'm not happy. Eva's married. Life is going on in the ATL. This is what we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty. I feel like this is the most honest we've seen NeNe. She kind of just was being real. She was saying, look, I'm not happy, and I'm going to look crazy if I leave him because he's sick. But the point is, I'm not happy, and I can't do this anymore. And I feel like everyone does have a breaking point. Let's start with that.
Well, let's start there because when you make your vows, you say for better or for worse. And in the middle of worse, you have side effects from medication, and you might get grumpy and grouchy. And I think that's what it is. Like maybe some medication side effects. Because he said he doesn't even remember, like, how it happened.
I think he's saying it's not intentional. Like, he doesn't mean to, like, be a jerk.
Because he's emotional and he's taking medication. It's just like with a woman taking certain hormone pills, you know?
I mean, I guess I get the for better, for worse thing. But at the same time, there's a limit to everything. And if you're consistently treating me like trash, I'm not going to stick around for it.
So how do you stick around for the for better or for worse? Like, why are you saying that then?
I'm saying there's a limit to it, though. For better, for worse could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I can move to the guest house for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of things. One, I think that you do need to be committed to your marriage. It's a serious commitment. However, if it's making you miserable, there is a point where you have to do what's right, and you know, maybe for both people. But also, I felt, and we can discuss it when we get to it, when she was talking to Greg, he just seemed really like he was really sharing with her deeply, and she almost like didn't really hear him. So like he would say whatever and really try to apologize, and she'd be like, "But you don't understand me," and it's like she wasn't really listening. She was hearing, but she wasn't really listening. But we can talk about when we get to it.
Yeah.
But
well, maybe it was. I think it was maybe on both sides too, because I feel like he didn't really want to hear her. But yes, we are going to really get down to the nitty gritty. It's just the beginning. We have a lot to talk about. We're talking about the opening, like. Life after marriage does go on, obviously. And what's happening now is like a full-blown breakdown investigation. Marlo's like, y'all need to come over. I have some tea and it's boiling hot. And I'm going to spill it. She's a bad server. Along with this ponytail. I blame the ponytail. This ponytail brought out the devil in her.
No, Marlo been messy since day one. That's what she loves and lives for. So, and I mean, I'm not about celebrating someone's downfall. Like, I get, like, she might be out here frauding these streets, but why are we laughing about somebody's car getting repossessed?
Well, we're talking about the messiness. Like, she got the info from the bridesmaids. We have a source. Repo cars, fake houses. It's fully, like, on to expose. It felt a little messy in a dirty way just because it was pretty obvious, like, this hanging out was going to be about Eva.
Yeah. I just feel like MARLO is corny because this is literally coming off the brink of Eva's wedding. Like, you couldn't let homegirl have, like, a couple weeks of bliss before you decided to be messy. Also, like, I don't know. You have to think of the source. I have people who I'm no longer friends with who have said some crazy stuff about me because they're bitter, and it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know the situation with, what's her name, Shanita, and
The name alone.
She choked somebody at the wedding.
that's what I'm saying. We don't
She's
know.
mad about her name.
Exactly. We don't know what happened with Eva and Shanita. And so to just blindly take someone's word as truth is messy and irresponsible, and I think it's corny of Marlo to just be...
Well, I think she was getting some clarity on it, but this is the thing. Why, when we get mad at friends, are we spilling their tea? That's one.
Because you're not a friend.
Well, okay, one thing, a couple things. One is if the person came to Marlo, then I think it's fair of Marlo to repeat it. Because I feel like if they're all on the show and this person is clearly out to do stuff to Eva, then I'm not sure... I think she should say something, and I think NeNe is the person she should say it to. I'm totally confused as to why Thirsty Tanya was there, really, because I don't see why that's relevant. But Marlo has a relationship with NeNe, and NeNe has a relationship with Eva. So to me, telling NeNe, be like, look out for your girl, because this is what's out here in these streets, is valid. I think.
It wasn't a look out for your girl. It was like, let me tell you about how your girl's a fraud. There was no, it says something to Marlo's character that Shanita decided to go to Marlo to drag Eva.
Of course, it was totally like it was very set up. That's the only reason that it feels kind of like yucky. But NeNe was making me laugh regardless. We're like, oh no, not the credit.
But this is the thing. I think she went to Marlo because when her and Eva were cool, she obviously was venting about Marlo to her. Like, I don't like this B. And so she probably was like, this is the person I need to give the information to. So.
And I will say, as far as the Kevin McCall thing, because I don't think a lot of people know this, but when you are in a relationship where there's like domestic violence or something like that, and you have to break leases, one, that affects your credit, and two, a lot of states don't care if you're breaking it because of domestic violence. There's very few states that like recently started passing bills that support people who are
I don't think it's the end of the world if she is renting, if her car did get repossessed. I mean, there are housewives and other series that have money issues. I don't think that's a problem. The only issue really, and I think Marlo's point was about keeping it real, is you talking about this, and that, and you quick to tell us how much you spent $1,000 on your flip-flops. So that's where I kind of have an issue.
Well,
then
then
stop fronting like you're all of that when you know you're struggling.
Then
Just keep
Marlo
it to
be
yourself.
upfront about where you're getting your money. Because we know it's from Tom, Chad, and
But
Jack.
she has said it straight on a million. She said it on Watch What Happens Live last week. She's like, I'm going to talk about this one final time. This is where I get my money. And she went down a pretty long list. You know what I mean?
But Marlo also doesn't have a peach. So we can't necessarily hold her to the same standard because she's not not on contract.
I was going to say something in response to what you said way before we got into... we're gonna have to get back to it. We have a lot we have a lot of opinions here, and we're gonna get down to this gate, this Tanya, this Eva gate, because the financial situation is not what we're judging her on. What we're judging her on is the fact that. Did you see how happy she was when Candy said, you just spent $100,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars on your wedding? She was like. I'm like, you're trying to set yourself up to look like a baller when you're not. Like, there's a difference between just being... Like, Bethany on season 1 of Housewives of New York was totally poor. And the entire Housewives franchise, they were all rich. And that was, like, part of her storyline. The fact that she lived in a shitty apartment. The fact that she wasn't married. She had a boyfriend that didn't even want to claim her. Like, it's about just being real. And we can relate to that. We're not going to relate to Eva. We're not going to feel bad for her if she's not honest with us.
More importantly, she's so quick to talk about what she spent per head. She's so quick to talk about how much her outfit costs. I mean, she's always trying to front on top of that. Yeah, and it's
she had 3 outfit changes.
Right, just keep it to yourself, and then we'll see your raggedy house when they take there. Just leave it.
But I'm not mad at her not spending money. Like, if that's what she wants to spend her coin on, that's what she wants to spend her coin on.
Exactly.
That's fine, but then if you don't be covering it up though with financial problems underneath, because it's going to come out. You're on a reality show.
I mean, yeah, but I just we haven't seen proof that she had renting a house. I don't think is
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad
we
thing.
haven't seen any evidence.
However,
of her.
you've been in Atlanta, so I don't know anybody really in Atlanta.
It's just the way they're painting
the
it
cost
out.
of living in Atlanta is pretty
cheaper.
Is a lot cheaper than a lot of other places.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not judging her because I don't own, so I don't really care one way or the other. But to me, just be honest about who you are because that's what we're here for.
Well, we're going to move on. We're going to get down to it eventually. We're going to come back to the situation. But for now, I want to talk about another spectrum of the situation. And when she talked about her donor, the baby daddy, obviously it's Kevin. But we're saying that he's crazy, and that's why she doesn't want to know. She doesn't want people to know where she lives. That's why she has multiple addresses. That's why she has aliases. It's a protective order. She's running from this guy. But obviously, we saw at the end of the episode, that's not really what everyone's buying, and that's what she's selling. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. I want to move on because we could talk about this forever. But what we can just dip into is that Todd has a belly and a full beard and is in full daddy mode. He's on board with the new surrogate, but not everybody is. I love this little family meeting because there was realness. We saw that Mama Joyce had emotions. It was crazy. She was the voice of reason. We haven't seen that for a long time. Let's talk about Riley, the kid, and this entire situation. The family matters of the Burruses.
I feel like Riley is I'm not about to be nobody's babysitter, and I think because Kendi and Todd are so busy, it kind of falls down to her, and I think that's why she's so against it.
Yeah, I totally feel what Riley was saying. You're not here as is, and you have 2 kids that you don't pay attention to. Why the hell are you gonna bring a 3rd one in there? And Mama Joyce being I wish I would have had more kids because one of mine passed. That's 2 + 2 = fish. It doesn't really relate to the situation. It's not like a dog. You don't just replace one,
I agree with you, although I give Mama Joyce 1,000 cool points for not doing her lemon into lemonade and totally being opinionated and kind of just playing Switzerland and just being I'm out of it.
Yeah.
I love that about her, but I absolutely think Riley is correct. And I think it's nice to see Riley really vocalize her concerns because it is fundamentally really, if your nanny's going to be raising your child, what is the point?
Yeah, and she's a Candy Jr., so she's just getting what you are, girl. That is your little offspring right there.
And isn't it sad that your kid is literally practically being hey, you don't pay attention to me, or my little brother.
My favorite part was he seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah.
I'm he's not old enough to speak yet.
He's 2.
What if he's girl, you ain't around enough?
Yeah, I mean, you're on your 2nd restaurant. You're starting this other tour that I'm going to check out, but they do a lot of stuff.
Doesn't he look happy? Doesn't the little baby?
He's 2.
He's 2. He can look happy if we go in
I'm
his
saying
face.
you give a 2-year-old an iPhone and he's give a 2-year-old a box and he's happy.
Okay, and then he'll be in school, so be fine.
Well, it was nice that we had some balance. Riley was getting the support from her other half sister, which we kind of haven't seen them bond.
We saw 2 seconds of her briefly on camera.
I know, but it was nice that they were kind of in agreement, sitting on the same couch. They didn't even want to be in the same room for a long time. So it was nice to see that Mama Joyce played another card that we haven't seen before. We needed to see it, and we move on to Portia, who is doing a carnival theme. Wow. This girl loves a party. What she doesn't love is budget. How insane was that? I would just be no, girl, you're gonna have another baby shower too. This is too much money. You're talking about real estate and finances and talking about, it would be economically ridiculous to put this money into it. How about using that sort of common sense when it comes to parties?
I know what you mean, and I feel like Dennis is there. He's what's up with the prenup? Because you spending too much money. And Portia makes money, so it's for him to even bring it up, it's a subtle hint, so you got a baby shower, we got a wedding, you're doing too much.
I think we've just seen her go through she's wanted a baby so bad for so long, and we've seen so much of her journey to be a mom that I get that she wants to do it big. So I'm not mad at her.
Yeah, I get that she wants to do it big, and I support her in that. What's interesting is that I feel she's just running everything with Dennis, and he seems to kind of just be he'll have an idea and then back down. Okay, we can live 5 hours from where we work if you say so. Okay.
He was not like that.
I don't think it was like that either, but that is actually I don't think that is the right thing to do. I'm on Portia's side with this.
I am too.
Like, you don't need to live in the city, Playboy.
You're not
What,
a
you want to
bachelor.
go to the club? No, you need to come home to the suburbs.
I mean, but
where there's room.
I
With
think
the minivan.
I think it depends on where you're living, because I think realistically, especially here in LA, it depends on the commute. Because really, if you're
It
trying
seems
to
like
get,
the same kind of thing.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Atlanta is a different commute than LA.
But it
Yeah.
seems like a little mini LA where there's traffic and there's
Yeah.
suburbs.
Right.
And the smart people, the real rich people, I mean, look at Kim Kardashian. She's not living in the Hollywood mansions. There's
Facts.
nowhere to, like, you can't even get up, but you can't get out of there if something happened. Like, the real smart people, they live outside of Los Angeles. Thousand Oaks, Calabasas,
Yeah.
Woodland Hills, Agora Hills.
Yeah, however,
it's about
but
space.
the difference too is my point really with him wasn't so much that he wanted to live in the city. I think he had a valid point. If you have a kid and you're trying to get everything together and get to work and get to the studio and get to whatever that's in the city, I think living close to or within a certain amount of perimeter
Yeah.
to where you live is a valid point. Not that he needs to be kicking it or in a
I
bachelor
just
pad or
think he doesn't want to live in her house.
he shouldn't have to. They should get
Yeah.
get another
they should
house.
get a new house.
Get a new house
Absolutely.
in the same kind of suburbs, though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you should live in the city, especially when you have a new baby. Like, it's, trust me, you're gonna want that solitude. You're not
Right.
gonna want the
Yeah,
craziness
move
of the
to, like,
city.
Move to like
We would know. We all have children. We're experts over here.
I have a cat.
I'm gonna get a dog, so I'm like Candy. I need a dog surrogate. That's
Well, Eva and Candy are talking, and Shanita is the subject, and she's messy and choked the wedding planner. Once again, someone got choked on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we didn't get to see the footage. Come on now, y'all.
We almost
Slacking.
saw something, but I mean, what was?
Jugglers,
Confusing.
food, like.
It's confusing to me though, because if you're not the one getting married, why are you so mad? Like, if Eva wasn't that mad at the wedding planner, why were you that mad?
That's very true.
Because you want to be on camera, and like,
Yeah.
did you see her trying to create like a little scene with her friend? I'm like, girl, that girl's not even on the show. They're not going to air that. The only reason they aired that is because you wouldn't choke somebody.
Yeah.
right.
Ugh, I
Well,
can't.
her plan worked.
Although I think Candy.
It did. Technically, it
Although
did.
I think Candy had a good point, because maybe if this girl is still out there calling Marlo and doing all of this, she made it on air because Eva knew she was going to spread the rumor, and I think Candy was right. I think Eva was doing damage control. Maybe
She
it wasn't
totally was doing
really.
damage
It wasn't
control.
like a legitimate, like, oh, I'm sharing with you what I'm going through. It's like, okay, let me nip this in the bud before
Have
you hear
to
something
address
crazy.
this.
Right.
Thank you for coming to the press conference.
Which is also hashtag fake. So
Yeah.
you
But
know.
I'm saying Bravo would have used that footage whether Eva addressed it or not, so why not go ahead and address it?
Well, to me, go ahead. I don't mind her addressing it, but acting like she's trying to have this authentic moment with Candy is fake.
Or like
to me.
just
Or
running
just
out,
say,
and
like, I know
leaving,
she's
coming
out,
back. Like, ugh, God.
Yeah.
What are you, Kim Zolciak? We've seen this before. Now we're gonna go back to that, but I want to jump back to the Portia thing, and I want to talk about the prenup thing. Like, the finances with the couple, it's never a comfortable conversation to have. Like, people get weirded out about money. I want to know, do you think that in the future, I want to do a quick little poll in the live chat. Thank you for being active. I see you guys. Joseph Boza, hello. Matthew Kennedy, I see you guys. Mike Bowman, I love that you guys are always here. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe 2 or more of our channels, and we'll shout you out. I want to do a quick little poll, though. Do we think Portia's financial extravagance will eventually hurt her marriage? She is very much showboating, and Dennis is kind of along for the ride. That gets old. A quick little poll. Do you think it'll affect her marriage?
I think that you gotta start the way you finish the way you started, or continue what you started. And he started by giving her Rolexes, giving her diamonds. So keep up with all that, because the first year anniversary, the wedding, she's gonna want more and more and more. So he knew what he signed up for.
That is
He's
true.
an entrepreneur, so keep making that money, boo. 'Cause
That's
she's
why you got to
gonna want
start
some more
with
money.
the first date. We're going to McDonald's.
No, boo.
I'm just kidding.
Not McDonald's.
Take me
We're
to
not-
Boa.
We're not doing that. But no, I agree with you. I think like you gave her the taste for this. So it's like I don't know.
He did it to get her.
I am pro prenup though.
So do you think it'll affect her marriage, though?
I don't think so, because I think he's very showboaty. I
Okay.
think they're just showboaty in different ways.
Okay.
But I don't think it'll affect it.
I think it will. I mean, I do think it will, because I think eventually, I mean, he's going to sell a lot of hot dogs, he's going to sell a lot of weed or whatever, but eventually him, and especially his mama, is going to be like, oh, wait, she's getting crazy with it, I think, if she continues to go out of control.
I think she does pretty nice for herself as well, though, so it's not like she's completely off of his money. She does have her own
She has her own money, but I feel like she is the type of woman that wants her man to spend the money. Like, she'll want to keep her money tucked away and want him to spend all his money.
No, Haley Matthews, we did not see Candy's YouTube video because they're all getting these ideas from us. They see that we're over here talking after the episode's over. They're just, I see you guys. Hi, Don Juan.
Invite
Hi,
us
Candy.
over.
Why don't you come on in here and talk about it?
I've seen a couple of them, and I kind of fell asleep, so I'm sorry. Although I love Candy.
Exactly.
It was kind of boring to me, honestly.
Candy, you want a real host to manage your after shows. You know how to call it.
Yeah, and it's kind of boring to talk about yourself. Like, you already been on the show. Like, why are you still talking?
Right, exactly. It's kind of like that. And then we already saw your perspective in your confessional, so now you're just repeating yourself. So I don't know. I didn't find it that entertaining, but I'm not dogging her. I love her, and I would love it if you came to our show.
You know what? I'm down with. I'm just
You
down
sound
with
fake like Eva.
free hot dogs. That would be enough for me. Thank you, my Bowman. I totally agree with
That would
that.
be totally
Free hot dogs from
great,
who?
Dennis.
From Dennis.
Do you have vegan ones?
Dennis,
I'm sure
do
he
you have-
does.
Dennis, do you have Polish sausages or half smokes? That would be great.
True.
I'm sure he has a plethora of wieners to give out. All right, let's move on. OLG is opening, and Candy is super happy, and she's grateful. She's grateful because she knows, like, look, I've been around the block enough to know that restaurants are not really easy to be successful, and the fact that I'm opening one, my second one in 2 years, this is incredible.
Which is why you should be having a baby.
Yeah, keep it going. The money should be your baby, girl.
I mean, I feel like if you got enough money, I mean, I don't think it's right to have a nanny take care of your kid, but I mean, if you have the money, what's wrong
What
with
is
that?
this, the help? No, raise your own damn
You
kid.
is big. You is good. You is
Right?
strong. You is
But
Why do we
important.
have to choose?
Remember when she goes to, the little white girl says to the help, she goes, "You my real mama, A.B."
Yes. That's gonna be Candy's baby.
Because mama don't be around and she don't raise me.
Not AB. I'm done.
Aren't you tired, Miss Hilly? Aren't you tired? All right. Well, you know who isn't tired? Tanya, because she immediately, like, we haven't even finished our first cocktail. Your ass is pulling people to the side, stirring up stuff. I know why you did it.
No, she's thirsty. Thirsty.
Oh, okay, well, I thought you were going to say something. Yes, she is thirsty, but you know what she is, though? She's scared of NeNe. That's why she did it before NeNe got there. You wouldn't have pulled that in front of NeNe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You would have not pulled that in front of NeNe.
No,
she did that control, like damage control, before NeNe got there. She wanted to have a little scene. She knew it was going to make it on the air. You talked about this with Marlo and NeNe. I know that it was not the best Babysitters Club meeting. It was kind of dirty. But you guys did say NeNe is the one that was going to address it. And she was like, you have to address it. Well, you didn't even give her a chance, girl. She didn't even arrive yet. Let's talk about this situation.
Oh,
Okay.
Tanya is messy. Go ahead, Drew.
I will say this because I feel like I'm probably not on the same page as you all, but I've, like, from social media and everything, it looks like that Tanya and Eva actually are, like, pretty good friends in real life.
Now,
I'm not gonna look at Erica because she's eye rolling at me.
My eyes are right
But
here. They're not rolling.
I kind of agree with Cynthia and all of them that, like, or when Cynthia was talking to Tanya, like, if I know something and I call myself your friend, I'm gonna tell you because it looks corny on my behalf to hold that back, especially when it's something that's, like, big like that.
It looked corny for them to sit there in Marlo's apartment and talk crap about her, and then say, "Oh, we're gonna tell her."
It was, the whole situation was corny, but I'm saying, like,
But if you agreed for NeNe to break the ice, then you should have kept with your pledge. You know that you guys, your pact.
but
that
if
made.
they were really concerned about breaking it safely to Eva, then Marlo should have just brought NeNe. There was no need for Tanya to even be there.
Why was Tanya
my
there?
point to begin with. I don't know why she was there. I totally agree with that. Tanya should not have been there.
Especially if
but,
Marlo
yeah.
and NeNe don't really care for her in the first place.
Exactly.
Why was she there?
I don't know why she was there. I do not know. I feel like that was a production move.
Well,
I don't know
Tanya
why she
said she lived super close. So, because remember Marlo was like, don't
maybe by
pop
default
up.
they're like, oh, she lives right there. Come on over, girl.
Yeah, but I mean,
Even then though, it just
She had a
doesn't
lot
make
of
any
food.
sense.
I mean, she wasn't gonna eat all that food, so
it was,
she needed
but
somebody.
Tanya was wrong. I agree with Drew in the fact that
with all of it.
no, nope. Because to me, I feel like once they all were like, okay, we believe you should break it to her. I feel like you do owe some deference to that. Now, if NeNe is like a week later, NeNe still hadn't said anything, then sure, yeah, because now you are her friend. You do have a duty. I agree with that part. But she should have at least been woman enough and be like, well, that's my girl. I'm gonna say something to her if that's how she felt.
Instead,
but she was afraid. She was a punk.
She said she was sorry. Oh, that was my bad. Like, I spilled it too early. Like, no, you should have just been like, she's my friend. You guys were talking about it. If you need to own up to it, that's what you need to do. Like,
Exactly. But Sheree is a bone carrier, and she stood up for it. So
kinda.
Yeah.
No one has ever been so bowdy,
Right.
except for Candy. Candy's the only one that's actually stood up to NeNe and been like, I'm about to blow up in your face.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the only one that's ever gotten buck. Sorry, guys. I know
Because
some of
Candy
y'all.
got her own thing.
Exactly. I don't know.
But I will say, like, not what you would do, because we're all a little too bold for our own good. But like, if you're in Tanya's position, NeNe's low key scary in this time period with the whole Greg situation. She's snapping on people. She ripped a shirt off a producer. Like, shit, NeNe is in wild form.
Okay,
Yeah.
if that's the case, then why piss her off by breaking the pact that you made? So you know for a fact now she's gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, I mean, I get that she's scared of NeNe, and I get
don't
that. I agree with you on that part, but I do feel like it's like she ran to tell Eva, like, give it a day.
She did. She ran. We saw the footage of the night before.
Because she didn't even have fun. It's like, why
She
would
didn't
you
ruin the
ruin
entire
my
party. She ruined Eva's time at the
Exactly,
party.
but still, why would you tell me some bad news?
She
Wait till the end of the night.
She ran
or
to
something.
tell her, and it just seemed a
Yes,
little
you guys.
bit
I know some of you guys
desperate.
think that Tanya isn't thirsty, but she did.
I'm
She
just-
literally
I'm
ran.
just saying, if you find out some stuff like that about me, and you don't immediately come tell me, I'm gonna feel some type of way. If I find out you were in the situation and you allowed for someone to wait some amount of time to come tell me, and you could have told me, I'm gonna feel pissed off.
Well, yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I know we're just talking from the TV show aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, that she saw an opportunity, she totally took it, and instead of owning it and making it better TV, she put her tail between her legs.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Kind of. You know?
She was being a waitress.
But here's
She
the
was
thing,
doing too
though.
much.
Like, my favorite part of the episode. Like, NeNe gets aware of what's happening. She's like, no, like, I came here to do this tonight. She needs to come back. I ain't trying to hang out with everybody again. Everybody knows at these type of gatherings, we get this out of the way. Like, come back over here. So she went outside to do damage control. Fully breaking down Eva. Eva's like, all right, I'll talk to you because I respect you, but I don't want any mics. You know, NeNe and Bravo were like, that's not happening.
You know you signed the contract, right? I just want to let you know.
Bravo's like, hell no. Come defend yourself. I heard FBI. Marlo's calling bullshit. My favorite part was when she was like,
Candy, you know it's...
they are not bashing you. Don't even say that, Eva. They are not bashing you. Cut to Marla going, in LA, she's a full-blown lesbian. I was dying. Why is it always, though, in Real Housewives of Atlanta, being gay is a bad thing? They're
I was
always
about to say, that's not that bad.
they're
No, I don't
always
think
trying to
it's-
be like,
I
your
don't think
husband
it's
is
bad.
gay.
Right.
No, I don't think
So?
it was bad, Lynn. I think the fact that she just got married and she's a full-blown lesbian in a whole nother city, I think that's...
First
No,
of all,
I
if she
get
is
it.
intimate with a man, dude, we need to stop acting like you're either gay or you're straight. There's a whole spectrum.
I mean,
Okay.
we do
And she-
remember the Missy Elliott comment, don't we?
I sure do. But I'm just saying, I have a hard time believing that Mike doesn't know if that is a thing going on
Exactly.
and that Mike isn't chill with it.
Exactly.
There's such thing as an open relationship, and they...
Or there's such thing as you being bisexual and then you're married. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Hi.
Yeah, he might be
Hello,
okay
Shamari
with
and
it,
Candy.
That part,
but he actually may be okay with it, but he is a politician, so he has to put on this,
He was
political.
He's on the Real Housewives
He tried
of
to be a
Atlanta.
politician. It didn't work out in his favor.
Now he's just a lawyer.
And he's broke, apparently.
That's why they're moving, because he wants to run for
He
some
needs to
kind
get a
of
couple more
council
cases.
stuff.
Because, Eva's storyline, she was so quick to leave it in the parking lot. Girl, you're going to come back and defend it. Because if not, they are going to write the storyline for you. That is the one thing that all of them agreed on. So she did come back. Obviously, we're not going to see it until next episode. But honestly, like, Marlo does have a point, y'all. Mm-hmm. I know she's messy. I know she's crazy. But you guys, she is saying stuff that was making me go, yeah, that's true. Like, girl, the stalker situation, like, I've seen the series You. It's scary. Like, I would never want someone stalking me. The fact that you
Although that is a great series and I loved it. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine, like, though, if it is true, going to your balcony at night and there's someone, like, in the woods staring at you, I would freaking get my gun and shoot your ass.
I do get that, but like Marlo, I actually follow Eva and she does go live all the time.
Exactly.
He does, but Kevin McCall does crazy-ish all the time. He has been on IG Live multiple times talking some crazy noise about
I've
Eva.
seen
Tyrese, but are they
he
actually
has-
stalking people?
He has
though?
mental issues for sure, but I do not believe that Kevin is following her to Atlanta in her bushes. He don't even have money like that. He's staying in Compton right now.
He just was on
I had too much
IG.
sugar.
He was just on IG like 3 days ago having this full-blown mental breakdown about Marley and like
He was.
how he's coming for
he
Eva.
was, but I
He
still
is not flying out there.
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it.
I don't know, though.
He is totally cuckoo, absolutely. But I feel like he's too broke and too distraught to actually
Well,
stalk.
Marlo said it best. Like, she wrapped it up in, like,
Exactly,
the
she
best terms. Very simple. She goes, your husband might be cuckoo, but he ain't coming for you all like that. Like, you be posting on Instagram your location, you going live, you have events. Girl, bye. Like, it made sense. Like, when Eva's is like giving us a story, like, I'm not gonna not feel bad. Like, if you're saying anything that's true, that is horrible. I would not want to stalk her. But when you hear it on the flip side and you hear someone go, look, I'm here with her. I know a little bit, and I know enough to tell you, she's lying. She was telling Candy she was lying at the table when Eva was 2 feet away.
Right.
She's lying. I don't believe her. Like, it was
And
crazy.
Candy was just looking like,
I think she lying too.
Candy's face was kind of like indifferent. It was very Switzerland.
I will say this for Eva. I feel like, not that I would ever do this myself, but every good lie has an essence of truth to it. So she probably does have the restraining orders and all that other stuff. I believe that.
Yeah.
I also believe she broke. So that's why I think, so to act like, oh, okay, we're constantly moving, because she's like, we have to leave this place. I don't feel like she had to leave because Kevin found out where it was. I feel like she had to leave because maybe she's being evicted. Maybe she can't afford it, whatever. And she didn't want to be real about that point.
You know what, though? Someone just brought something up in the live chat that makes total sense. Like, Eva is, like, going on a reality show is kind of like rubbing your life in other people's faces. Like, in all aspects, like, if you really break it down, what she is doing is she's bragging on reality TV that she is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a wedding. She's moving. She's living the life of the rich and famous. She's rubbing this in her donor's face, and he can't have any part of this life with Marley. It would be enough to make anybody go crazy. If the safety is that big of a concern, why are you on a reality
TV?
television show?
Ooh, who said that? That was a good point.
Joseph Boza said that.
That's a good point, Joseph.
He said,
Good
bye,
job.
Felicia. Eva is rubbing it in his face and that she is married and she's embarrassed that Kevin is the father of Marley given his history.
That's true, because every time he goes crazy, she always talks about him the next episode. Every time he goes crazy on IG, she's always like, the donor. And I was like, yeah, she saw that live just like we did.
Drew?
No comment.
Come on, Drewski.
I just think I think it's really crappy that because there were legitimate domestic violence issues with Eva and Kevin McCall, and I just think that no matter what the situation is, we don't know how her trauma has been from it, and I think it's crappy to mock it and to.
But we're not mocking it.
No,
She's on national television
I'm
now.
I'm talking about Marlo. Like, you don't know the
Oh,
situation.
Marlo.
For all
Okay.
we know, Eva is legitimately scared
Yeah.
that he's following her. For all we know, just because he's not there doesn't mean he's sending people. Like, it doesn't mean he doesn't have people in Atlanta checking up on her. So it's just like, I don't know the situation, and I'm very firm on like believing victims and survivors, and I don't know her situation. And despite all the money issues, whatever, I'm not going to judge the situation because I think like it could go a lot deeper than we know. And she is on national TV sharing her story, but like deal with your trauma the way you feel comfortable dealing with it. And if this is how she feels to do it, then like do it.
Yeah, and that's all I was saying. Like I was just explaining the situation that if an ounce of it is true, that is terrifying. But you have to look at the flip side because we're being presented with it on TV. And Marlo is saying like she's not like some stranger. She's a cast member, and I'm telling you like I don't believe it, and I'm giving you my opinion. So we have to take both things into the conversation.
I just think Marlo takes situations that are heavy and she makes mockeries of it a lot, and I just don't like Marlo for that. I think it's really crappy on her behalf. And
she does it a lot with alcoholism.
Sis, you're not gonna get a peach. Get over it. Go go find another white sugar daddy and call it a day.
Labeling people as alcoholics, like she's quick to tell people that she's a bad mom. Like she's messy. I'm not taking any of that away from her. Like she is a messy girl with no peach, and I get it. And this is what she's doing. She's ruffling off the feathers because that's what turkeys do. But
that part.
You would still have to like talk about what's being presented on the show, and she is making a point that's making me go,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a little truth. I think there's some truth in both.
In both,
I agree.
both.
She absolutely has these domestic issues, and I feel for her on that. But I think that she does have a fear of really revealing how hard her financial situation is.
I want to understand, why does she feel like she's gonna buy a house eventually if she has these concerns? Because you're not gonna be able to move so quickly. But she's talking about buying a house, so that's why I think things aren't adding up.
Yeah, even Candy said it's a little fishy. Like I get it, but there is people out there that are totally on your side. Insomnia Snack says, Drew, I just need all the facts before joking. Like we totally get it.
I agree that there are things that don't add up, but you don't make light of a situation like that. And I think Marlo does it all the time. And I get it, she's messy, but at some point, like, have some class. Like, just a little, I get this is a reality show, but have like a little class for like
But she doesn't have any.
She doesn't.
Well, that's why
money can't buy your class.
So he can buy some.
Huh?
I said, but he can buy some ass.
Okay, but he can buy some ass. Let's get into our news and gossip.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, you guys. So first and foremost, we have. Okay.
So kind of what we've been discussing. Eva has multiple homes because she's dodging Kevin McCall, or that's the word that she's putting out on those streets.
And our next thing is Portia Williams has given birth,
Yay,
to a little girl.
Mazel.
Pilar?
Pilar
I like it.
McKinley.
I like that a lot, and we've heard rumor on the streets that she might be getting her spin-off show. So.
We think it's pretty much confirmed that she's filmed like the last 3 weeks of her pregnancy.
That's cute.
Is Dennis that interesting to carry?
I guess we'll see.
We'll see. He's the one that did tweet out that they had their baby at like 1:36 p.m. And click on the hashtag Meet the McKinleys for more info.
I really like that name, Pilar.
Pilar McKinley.
Pilar McKinley.
You know why I love it? Because Pilar is a Latina name.
Yeah, it's Latina.
I love it. Like,
I love it.
Pilar.
That just sounds like she has money, she's cute, she's confident, she runs her school. Like, she's going to be like, she's set up for success.
Yes.
I like
She's
it.
not
Just
going
by
to
the
be
name?
too bougetto.
Okay. All right. On that tip, so Candy has put it out there that she will leave the Real Housewives of Atlanta if they bring back my boo thing, my girl Phaedra Parks.
Oh, hell no.
Unpopular
Candy.
opinion, I'm okay. Like, I can survive losing Candy if that means we get Phaedra.
I know. Or I don't understand. I'm like, you got over it. Even though you guys aren't going to each other's events, you and Portia are cool beans.
Yeah.
Be cool beans with Phaedra. Get over
The
it.
dungeon is on tour. Like, why do you have to have bad blood with Phaedra?
Oh no, I think Phaedra is just malicious. That's why.
I don't think she's malicious.
Portia was kind of clueless.
She's
but
strategic and she's smart. She's a lawyer.
Even still, it's like it's
She's
so
an
many
alligator.
years. Candy is like, I don't know, an elephant. Oh, she's like somebody who just don't give up on stuff. Like, let it go, get over it. Like,
she
it's
beats a dead
over.
horse.
Yes, yes. She's just holding on to.
Wow.
Here's the thing about Candy, though. She's pulling like a Kelly Dodd because she
Yeah.
is. But basically, what happened in the Orange County franchise is Kelly Dodd was accused of doing cocaine and being a bad mother. So she said, like, that is the line I will cross. Like, I will not return if Vicky is on the season. Of course, 6 months later, they're filming together. They've put it to the side because, like, eventually, like, this is the money. Like, as much as money as Candy has, and you know she's making money, especially off that new Ariana Grande song, "Break Up with Your Girlfriend." Yeah,
She wrote that?
she got a writer's credit because the remix of "In Sync," "If I Was Your Girlfriend" is sampled in the song. She making that coin. She revealed it on Watch What Happens Live. That's some impromptu news right there. But the point is, as much as she has all this income coming in through royalties, songs, all that,
It's all
she
coming in because of Real
I
Housewives
know.
and its exposure.
She
Period.
loves the reality
Yes.
TV. It's her
Period.
main platform. It's her
Yes.
main stage where you're
I'm
always
here
going
to
to
tell
be
you,
seen.
Escape would not have done that tour without Candy's exposure. There's no
Exactly.
way.
No one would have even went to the
way.
Escape concert.
That part.
But they were still popping.
I mean,
They were
I'm not saying
popping,
they're not popping.
but
I'm
they
just
had
saying they
sold
wouldn't have-
out concerts.
They're not New
Thank
Edition
you.
popping. They're not
Thank you.
Boyz II Men popping.
Exactly.
And honestly, New Edition had a movie. I mean, you need
But
this
Ronnie
TV
wasn't-
exposure to get you out there, and that's what gets you to get people in the seats because they see you on TV.
Okay.
Exactly. So as
That's
much
I'm
as
not saying that
Candy,
they're not great. They're great.
exactly.
I love them, but I'm just
as
saying
much as
that
Candy's
exposure.
friendly, I don't think she would give up Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I'm sorry, girl.
Yeah, I think I think she's putting it out there. I think she would just spend the whole season like Lisa Vanderpump, stank.
Exactly. Stank
Stank
face,
and mad, yeah.
not going to any event and being pissed off. Bravo
Exactly.
needs to hold her check and be like, you ain't getting this check till you come to the reunion, boo.
I know that's right. yes.
All right, so let's get into some tweets with conversation, Pete. Oh, God. That tweet went right
Let's
through me.
get the
Exactly.
first tweet pulled up here. So we have a tweet from Akia. She says, I don't care if she changed dresses 7 times. Her financial hardship ain't your place to discuss, especially if you're not going to toss no coins their way.
Booyah! Okay, that's a good point. That is a good one. If you ain't giving me no money, don't talk about me. Okay, that's fair.
That part.
All right, so J Live 40. What was your script, Cynthia Bailey, for tonight's show? You hardly said a word. You need to be in LA with your man, girl. Make yourself useful.
Ooh.
Well, looks like next week she's gonna be real useful. So.
Yeah, obviously, Cynthia's saving it for the end. There's
Exactly.
some drama with NeNe.
All right, Thomas is currently watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Riley is so grown up. Candy, you seriously raised a smart young lady, beautiful just like her mother.
Yes.
Yeah, Riley was
and
gorgeous.
Noelle are like the
Faves.
bomb.com. I love them.
Riley lost that weight. She's just looking snatched.
Right.
Yes, and
good.
y'all all for Phaedra, but I'm here for Kenya. Stan Kenya now says, y'all didn't actually think the queen would be dismissed that easily, did you? We love you, Kenya, and we've missed you dearly. So she's making an appearance.
Where the queen at? I don't see
She's
the queen.
not on this show, but she's making an
Where the queen
appearance.
at? Kenya is now queen, and we'll see Kenya and her big old boobies next week.
Yes, she's coming back. She's gonna be back before
Thank
Phaedra.
you, Miss America.
Why y'all don't like Kenya?
Yeah, I like Kenya. I like Kenya
Gone
for
with the wind, fabulous.
exactly. Like, I like her in the aspect of, like, I like Marlo for her messiness. But the thing about Kenya that I did not like, she lied too many times to the public as well. Like, she did a lot of fronting. You, like, the audience is the one person you should be the most honest with. You can lie all day to these bitches, but in the confessional, you should just keep it real with the people that are watching, because those are the people that are going to agree with you, relate to you, and support you and love you and hate you.
Yeah,
I still support her no matter what.
Okay, here's my thing with Kenya. I loved Kenya. I mean, kind of like you're saying, because she was messy, she added drama, she added spice to the show. And absolutely, the scene when she went back there and her mother wouldn't see her, like, that breaks my heart to this day. Like, she
So
has
good.
some good storylines, but the whole thing with this mystery husband and stuff, and like,
Mark Daly.
he's not going to be on the show, and we can't even hear his voice on the phone. No, that's not what you signed up for as a housewife.
This
I had
is
a
the
problem
thing.
with that.
This is the thing. She was not married when she signed up for the show. She found found a man. She wants to keep her new love sacred, and I don't think anything's wrong with that.
No,
When
it's
you're
not.
building up
There's nothing wrong with that.
Take your butt off the show.
Oh, she
that's
did.
not what you
She
do.
did.
You know?
She
But
said
she didn't
that.
want to do that. She took her butt off the show so she can be married and have a
Yeah.
baby and be successful in that. She couldn't have both. She met someone that she obviously loves, got married and had a baby, but she also met someone that was like, you're not going to have both. I'm not going to be on the show. I'm not going to be a storyline. Like, I'm not going to do that with you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with any of that. What I have a problem is everything that happened before she met Mark Daly. I don't like how she fronted a lot.
Yeah.
Like the paid boyfriends, like Walter, guys,
God, yes.
we need to get out of here.
Yes, we do.
We will be here next Sunday for the season finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Then we're going to do the reunion. So you still have like a couple more weeks to hang around with us. Make sure to check me out on my Instagram, Hollywood Leanne, where you can find all the info. DMs are open, of course.
Don't DM me, but you can check me out though. Miss Conversation Piece on Instagram and Miss Convo Piece on Twitter.
Well, y'all can absolutely slide into the DMs, and you can do that at OKDrewJ.
All right, party people, you can follow me on all of my social media at Erica, Erika, D as in Door Edwards. And yes, it does go down in my DMs as well. So feel free. Yes.
Don't get choked. Bye, AfterBuzzers.
Bye, you guys.
You're tuned in to our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.